Hello comic book junkies, it's the Frog Queen here, and today I'm going to talk to you about Rachael Smith's latest book, Wired Up Wrong. You may have already watched my Kickstarter support video on this book I did a while back. Well, Rachael more than met her goals, and guess what? The book is now available, and you can buy it at Rachael's Etsy shop. The link will be in the description below. So, on with the video. Wired Up Wrong is a collection of short comics about dealing with mental illness and the struggle it can pose. I read the book while I was actually in this very depressed hole that I'm still kind of currently sitting in. It doesn't help that I'm also sick. Last week I had kind of plummeted really badly into this pit of hopelessness and despair, and I just can't get myself out of it. I'm trying. This book really comforted me. I guess it kind of came to me at the right time. And I was actually really comforted to read something from somebody who just kind of gets what I'm feeling. Throughout the book, Rachael manifests her mental health problems as a big black dog named Barky, whose appearance changes with regards to his influence on her. The bigger, softer dog is actually the worst one, as Rachael explains, because he's easy to curl up with and get lost in. And as she says, she believes what he says to her. While the scarier, smaller black dog is actually the easier one to deal with, it's the day-to-day whispers that you hear at the back of your head, which are more easy to ignore, but still this growling in the back of your mind and full of negativity. I think this is such a good way to represent mental illness or mental health problems, because I feel like this with my own depression, especially because there's always this voice in the back of my head, like tiny Barky, kind of telling you that you're awful, and sometimes you can dismiss that, it's just kind of the day-to-day self-doubt, but sometimes you can't, and then it turns into something bigger, like the large, fluffy Barky. Rachael also included a short story about how she was sexually harassed as a teenager in high school. It's a very powerful story, which luckily has a happy ending, but for so many kids, the story ends badly. Rachael's so brave to share this story with us, which she has included because of the recent Me Too movement on social media. For those of you who don't know, #MeToo is a movement where people share their experience with sexual harassment. Rachael has a comedic take on things, even though some of these things are not very funny, and I really appreciate her reoccurring themes and reoccurring jokes, such as the just get out of bed, and the two guys in her brain spinning the wheel to see how she'll react to things. Also throughout the book, there are helpful tips on dealing with depression, which include some online resources, as well as some therapeutic tasks that Rachael herself did at the request of her therapist. She also has a positive outlook on medication, which I didn't really expect, because so many people who are trying to recover from depression resist medication and anything in that kind of form. And I don't talk about my own mental health on my channel very often. I did start a vlog channel to discuss those kinds of things. It's called Strange Disaster. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. It's just started. There's only one video so far, but it's just a mishmash of my daily life. And mental health will most likely come up because I am manic depressive. I've been on a slurry of medications all throughout my life, most of which didn't work, but some that I do continue to take to this day because they do help me quite a bit and keep my mania from getting out of control. So I really liked that Rachael did talk about her experience with medications. This book focuses more on the struggle of mental illness and less on the stigma around it, but I think by allowing both people with mental illness to read her struggle and coping mechanisms, she's helping others find comfort, but also helping to dissolve the stigma surrounding mental illness issues by giving insight into how one can become dysfunctional when mental illness symptoms are at their peak, and maybe, just maybe, people who don't suffer from mental illness will stop referring to us as crazy. Crazy is a term I've been called by many people in my life, my entire life, and it's not, oh, Amy be crazy in that cute, Amy did something silly like dyed her hair pink kind of way. I mean the other kind of, oh, she's crazy, stay the hell away from that one kind of crazy. So In short, this is such a brave autobiography to put out. Not a lot of people are willing to talk about their struggle with mental illness. In fact, we lose people constantly to the battle. Artists, actors, musicians, all kinds of people to suicide and other forms of self-harm. If you do ever have thoughts of suicide or self-harm, there are a number of hotlines you can use. For Canada, I suggest the suicideprevention.ca, and it's 1-833-456-4566. And for US, there is the suicide hotline, 1-800-784-8433. I'll include links in the description below. Anyway, I think that does it for this video. Definitely grab a copy of this book, especially if you suffer from depression or know someone who suffers from depression or mental health issues in any way, because I do think you'll find it incredibly comforting, and I know I did, and I did really like the tips and exercises I found throughout the book. And as always, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share on Facebook and Twitter so this video can reach more people and get the word out there about Rachel's amazing book. And as always, until next time, read something good. Hello, comic book junkies, it is the Frog Queen here, and today I'm doing another one of my what I'm currently reading type videos. As you can see, I've been busy. We got this green screen going on, and I'm still learning kind of how to use it, so it will be a bit complicated. It is kind of complicated because I've never used one before, so I'm learning, and it'll be, you know, a lovely slow process, of course. So as you can see, I'm wearing a green necklace, and it's I love it because it's you can see like the little Fantastic Four. It's super fun. Yeah. That's going to be entertaining for a while. Anyway, I thought I'd just dive right in to what I'm currently reading. But first, I wanted to show you what I just received in the mail from the wonderful Mr. Grissom. As you know, I reviewed Gregory's Suicide recently, and so he sent me a copy in the mail and signed, which is so sweet of him, with a lovely little note. I'll read it to you. Oops, just hit the mic. It says, to Amy, thanks for giving our book a look. I did not intend for that to rhyme, but here we are. So thank you, Mr. Grissom, for sending me a copy. Just look how amazing this book is, by the way. It's Dark Horse, and Dark Horse always has these really lovely hard-covered books. And I especially like that this is a non-dust covered version. I really do not like dust covers. I think I've talked about that quite a bit. They kind of annoy the hell out of me, mostly because I just end up ruining them, whereas I never ever ruin the books that have the printed title and everything on them. That never happens. So yeah, I'm very excited. It's gorgeous, as you can see. Oh wait, I can't do that with a green screen. Note to self. He also sent me 2 of these little books that I'm going to dive into. Pigs and Chickens. Yeah, I can't wait to check them out. They look awesome, so I'm reading those. few other things I'm reading. Unfortunately, I have been so busy that I haven't been able to go to my local comic book store in quite some time. 2 weeks, I think. So I'm 2 weeks behind on grabbing my physical paper copies of books. But I did, of course, I got the last time I went, which I think was 2 weeks ago now, because it's Wednesday and I know I have books to go collect. Oh, great, you can't see that. It's Eleanor and the Egret, number 5. I'll just edit a picture right here. The Family Trade, which probably the green screen. No, you can see that. The Family Trade, number 2, which is fantastic. I've been really enjoying this series. Bug, number 5. Again, that's not going to work. And I was hanging out with my friend, and he gave me a whole bunch. He gave me all of the Shade the Changing Girl, which I haven't read. So I've got all those.